So, who makes the better breakfast? Is it Harvester or is it Brewers Fayre? Well, today I'm going to find out because I'm going to be trying both to see who's best. So let's start off first with Harvester. So the Harvester I decided to go to is located in Colton in Leeds, identifiable by this big sign right outside the restaurant. Now, I've not been to many Harvesters before, I think only once, and not for the breakfast, but I did find it good value for money and decent food too, so I'm interested to see what the breakfast is like. Let's head in. The inside is a pretty large place with loads of seating available. It kind of has a pub or bar feel to it that's been modernised in their green colour scheme, which makes it quite bright and airy in here. The breakfast menu is a good size with a lot of different options to choose from, including the build your own unlimited breakfast that I'm going for, which is cooked to order. So let's get one. I also got an unlimited tea as well, which you can drink as much as you want, but it is extra though, so not included in the unlimited breakfast price. I think it would have been a great deal if it was. So here it is, the Harvester Unlimited Build Your Own Breakfast. And what a great looking plate of food this is. There's quite a lot here, so let me take you through what I got. I went for 2 sausages, and these look like they've been cut nicely with great grill marks on them. 2 crispy hash browns, which are a good size, so I can't wait to try those. A couple of fried eggs with runny yolks. The unusual item of this breakfast, which is guacamole. They had it as one of the options, so why not try it out? I got 2 pots of baked beans, and it says on the menu that they are Heinz, so no need to guess here. I've got a portion of chips, which is a little unusual as well, as you don't get them at many places. A roasted tomato cut in half that looks soft and juicy. 2 slices of black pudding underneath the tomatoes. A couple rashers of bacon that look to be cooked nicely with great grill marks on them too. And on the side you get unlimited toast with butter. Let's try this out. I'm going to start off here with one of the sausages. They're a good size and shape, they've got a nice colour to them, and they've been put on the grill too at some point going by the markings. So let's try it out and see how it tastes. A really nice sausage. There's a snap to the outside, the inside is juicy, you get a meaty flavour and you can definitely taste the herbs in there. And there's a bit of a flame grill taste too, so a nice sausage. Let's move on to the hash brown. I think you can already tell that this is gonna be crispy. It's got a great golden brown colour to it as well, and I can't wait any longer. Let's try it out. Really delicious. The outside is definitely crisp with a nice fried flavour. The potato on the inside is soft, but you still get the potato texture as it's not too mashed inside. I really like this hash brown. Now these eggs look perfect to me, so let's break one of them open and check out the yolk. Lovely and runny on the inside. The yolk is thick and creamy too. Shall I try out the guacamole? Not yet, let's leave that for a bit later and try out the beans first. I think you can always tell Heinz beans from the colour and the sauce, and these look great. So let's try it out. Nice beans. The sauce is sweet and tomatoey, and the beans are a good soft texture. Now for the chips. You don't usually get these on a breakfast, but they were an option, so why not? They look like good standard chips. Let's try them out. They're slightly crisp on the outside, and the inside is soft and floury. The tomato is next, and these have actually been roasted, unlike some places where they're barely cooked, so I think these are gonna be good. They are good indeed. They're soft and juicy, you get a bit of a sweet tangy flavour, so some good tomatoes. And since we're on to the vegetables, I think it's time for the guacamole. I'm not sure why this is one of the options, as it seems a bit out of place with this kind of meal, but let's try it out and see if it changes our opinion. It's a good guacamole. You get the avocado flavour and there's a bit of a kick too, so a little spicy. I'm not totally convinced that the flavour goes, so maybe best sticking to it with the chips. The black pudding is next, and this one looks a bit on the crispier side. It's not the thickest one I've ever had, but the proof is in the pudding. So let's see how it tastes. It's not the best black pudding I've ever had. It was a bit too crispy for me. I like mine a little thicker with a more meaty taste and a soft crumbly texture. Now this is something I think I'm gonna like though, the bacon. You can see the nice grill marks on it, you can see the crispy golden brown colour too, so I think this is gonna be good. And it is. You immediately get a flame grill flavour, it's salty and meaty too, and it's a thick enough piece to have a good bite to it. So some great bacon. Before the combo bite, I'm going to try out the toast, which is unlimited by the way, and you can have jam and butter with it too. I'm going to go with butter, spread it all over and take a bite. You get low pack butter here, so the good stuff, and you can really taste it on the toast. Now for the combo bite. I've gone with egg, tomato, hash brown, sausage and chips, plus the dip in the beans. And why not the guacamole too? I think it was at this point that I realised that they forgot my mushrooms. I did order them, but they weren't on the breakfast, and at this point I thought it was a bit too late. So I finished off the rest of the breakfast, which I happily enjoyed. So that was a pretty good breakfast in there. I particularly like the hash brown and bacon. So the total cost of that meal was £11.98. Let's move on next to Brewers Fayre. So I hadn't actually heard of Brewers Fayre until recently, so this is the first time I'm visiting one. And this one in particular looks pretty impressive. There's a massive chimney on it with the words old brickwork, so I'm guessing it used to be a factory of some sort previously. Either way, an imposing building. Let's head in. The inside has a traditional cabin type feel to it with the exposed wooden beams and brickwork. I quite like the pastel and tartan colour scheme too, which I think all goes together well. The buffet area is located in the middle of the restaurant, where you have hot and cold drinks, cereals, pastries and fruit. But where is the hot food? Well, that's all cooked to order at this buffet, a bit like Beefeater, which I went to recently. In fact, the menu is exactly the same, so I'm guessing they're part of the same restaurant group. Let's order the unlimited cooked breakfast, which includes a cup of unlimited tea or coffee, so you can go back as many times as you want. I always like to start off with a cup of tea, and PG tips it is. So let's fill up our cup with water, add a splash of milk, give it a quick stir, and we're ready. So here is the unlimited cooked breakfast. It looks pretty immense with all the items, and I can't wait to try it. So I ordered 2 black pudding, which you get big slices here, a roasted tomato cut in half that is roasted pretty nicely actually, a couple rashers of bacon with some good golden brown charring on them, a good portion of baked beans on the side of the plate, 2 sausages hiding under some mushrooms, again with some good golden brown charring on them, some fried mushrooms cooked just the way I like, 2 nice looking hash browns again with good colour on them, which is a bit of a theme here as it's all cooked pretty well so far, 2 fried eggs with perfectly runny yolks, that I can't wait to dip things in. And not forgetting the toast on the side with butter. I think I'm going to start off with breaking into one of these runny egg yolks. And look at that, perfectly runny. They're soft in texture and creamy in taste. Great fried eggs. The hash browns are next. They're a good size and shape and have some nice golden brown edges. Let's go in for a taste. Tasty hash browns. The outside is slightly crisp. In fact, I think it could do with being a little more crispy. The inside is soft and not too mashed, so you still get some potato texture. Now I like the smaller mushrooms rather than the big ones, and these are cut into pretty big pieces, but they are fried well though, so let's try them out. These were really good. As soon as you bite into them, you get an explosion of buttery mushroom flavour and a good meaty texture too, so there's some great mushrooms here. Now at Beefeater, which I think is part of the same restaurant group, the sausages were way overdone, so I'm glad to see these are not and cooked nicely. Let's take a bite. That's a great sausage. The texture is really meaty, there's a good salty and meaty taste too, and it just makes you want to take another bite. I like these. The beans are next. It's a decent portion, maybe could have been a bit bigger, but you can ask for more if you want. And they're pretty good. They're a good soft texture with a sweet and tomatoey sauce, which is what you need to balance out the meats. Let's try out the tomato. I like it when they've had a good roasting and become soft, so these are just how I like them. It's soft and juicy in the middle, you get a sweet tomato flavour and a bit of a tangy and tart flavour too, so these will balance well with the sausages and bacon. Speaking of which, let's try out the bacon next. You've got some golden brown charring on the edges. I like the amount of fat running through it too, so let's just take a bite. Delicious. It's the right amount of salty, you definitely get a meaty and fatty flavour, and it's not too thin, so you do still get a good bite to it. Moving on to the black pudding. They don't mess around with the portions here, you get 2 thick slices. And a good black pudding can really make a breakfast, so let's try it out. Delicious. It's really soft and crumbly, you get a really meaty flavour here, which is not always the case, so I really like this one. It's time to get the butter on the toast, and I went for brown bread this time just to mix it up a bit. I've said it before, the butter really makes it, and this one was really creamy. I may have put too much onto this combo bite, but let's see if it works. I've gone with egg, hash brown, tomato, black pudding and sausage, plus the dip into the beans. Amazing. I kind of wanted to get more after eating this, but I think it's time to move on to the other items of this buffet. I'm going to start off with a simple orange juice that you get to pour yourself, which I like as you can fill it up however much you want. I think they ran out of croissants by the time I got to the pastry section, but there were some pain au chocolats left, so let's take one of them. I want a pancake too, but I think it needs a bit of refreshing, so let's put it in the toaster for a bit just to warm it up. And the spread of choice I'm going for is Nutella. Plus I like the look of this berry compote, so I'm going to put a bit of that on the side of the plate. I think we need a yoghurt too, just to finish off the meal, so let's grab a strawberry one. What a nice looking plate of food this is. Instagram worthy, I think. I'm going to start off with the pain au chocolat, so it's a good bite-sized one. Let's try it out. Pretty good. It's soft and buttery, a little crisp on the outside, and you get the sweet chocolatey flavour from the chocolate inside as well. The freshly toasted pancake is next, which I think you have to toast because it just warms it up and adds that bit of a crisp to the outside. In fact, it really went well with the berry compote. The soft and sweet pancake really complemented the tart and fruity compote. But I think we need to get some Nutella on it, as it goes well with anything. So here it is, freshly toasted warm pancakes with Nutella. Delicious. It just goes so well together. Onto this thick and creamy looking yogurt. I like it, but I think it needs some of that berry compote on it just to take it up to the next level. Which it did. I'm pretty stuffed at this point, but I think I can manage just one more drink before I go, and I'm going to choose a cappuccino. What a great breakfast that was. I liked everything in there. So the total cost of that meal was £9.99. So which was the better breakfast? Comment down below which one you preferred. I think for me it has to be Brewers Fayre. There was a lot more choice with the buffet, it was a little bit cheaper, and a lot of the items tasted better too. Okay, if you like breakfast, click on the thumbs up icon below and click on subscribe to come along for the next food journey, and I'll see you in the next one.